Happy Monday, ladies and gentlemen.
Are we live?
We are live.
Hello.
DGIM, it's 5 o'clock somewhere. We have a very special show for you guys tonight. We have one of our sponsors here sitting with us, Mr. Arman Grigorian.
Good evening.
The Arman Grigorian.
Thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for joining us, man. Long overdue, actually.
It was. It is.
It is. Well,
it's because his checks weren't clearing. That's why. I said until the checks clear.
Absolutely. Took a few months.
What a way to make the show uncomfortable, huh? You listen. Anytime you want to make shit uncomfortable, you just start talking financial. That's how you make shit uncomfortable.
Yeah. Then we were waiting for IHSS approval and his provider number.
Absolutely.
Once everything cleared out, it only took about 6 months, but you know what? Yeah. It was.
We're here now. That's what matters.
That's all that matters. But in all seriousness, we want to thank you for obviously everything you do, not only for our show, but outside of our show for the community, because you're involved everywhere, man. And you being the individual that you are, very generous, very knowledgeable of your job as well. And seriously, bro, like not everybody would do what you do.
You have to. You have to. That's how I feel. I mean, I have to just be part of the community that made me who I am and give back as much as I can. So
when did you come to the States?
I was 1990.
Okay.
Yeah. I grew up in Glendale pretty much all my life. So this is home.
And then you went to law school, and did you know you wanted to be a PI attorney, or what was it exactly that you were?
No, not at all. I didn't know what I wanted to do. So during law school, I worked for an attorney, Arthur Langesian.
Hello, Arthur.
Yeah, so
he's in. Where is he now? He's traveling overseas.
Probably, yeah. So working there, experiencing what I experienced with Arthur and the mentorship, I decided to go into the PI world, and I love it.
How's the competition with everybody? Because everybody you look at is like, oh, what do you practice? Well, personal injury, PI. By the way, PI isn't private investigator, ladies and gentlemen. It's personal injury. How is it with like the competition, or is it with you guys in your industry? You guys are very kind of like tag team, hand each other business, and work together.
Somewhat tag team, but I mean, it's good competition. Just do your job well, and people come to you. I mean, been doing it for 10 years. I do not have a website,
but you have a cell phone number.
I have a cell phone number, and
which he always answers.
Yes, which was, and mind you, this isn't a PR thing or an advertising thing. He literally does answer it, because I was involved in an accident, as you remember, a couple months ago, and I literally, I said his number so many times, 818-404-3033. And it was like in my head, and literally get rear-ended. And I'm like, son of a bitch. I'm like, you know what? 818-404-0333. Call him. He answers his phone. Hey, Arno, what's up? I'm like, well, so
I've been personally injured.
Yeah. I was going to say I was just testing to see if he would actually pick up, but no, I was actually.
I did pick up.
Yeah, he did pick up. You did pick up. And here's one thing that I loved what you did. You asked how I was. You asked what happened. You analyzed the situation. And if it was any sort of other type of attorney, I don't think they would have given me the right advice that you gave me at the time.
I mean, yes, I love what I do. And I don't do it for myself. I do it for you, per se, the person who's calling me for help, the person that needs my help. So I have to give them the right advice. I mean, there's no other way.
Well, that told me right away who you are as a person. And God forbid anybody gets into an accident and is injured in an accident. But if you are, again, this isn't a PI thing or a PR thing, dude. Like literally, I don't think there's anybody else they should call besides somebody who would give you honest, genuine advice.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Yeah. But where did you go to law school, if you don't mind me asking?
Glendale University College of Law. It was on Glendale between Wilson and California.
That's the building. Remember, we were looking at buying.
Yeah, they closed down. They sold it.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I love that building.
It's a great building.
Beautiful
It's
building.
a great building inside and out. A lot of sleepless nights, and I was looking for the fastest and cheapest way to get the job done, and they gave me what I wanted. So
See, it goes to show you that, like, I see so many parents and, like, teenagers who are under pressure, struggling. I need to get into this school and that school, and at the end of the day, does it matter whether you graduated from Glendale Law School or whatever? Let's say some prestigious, law school.
UC.
it does, in a sense. You have to know what you want to do after law school. If you want to hang up your shingle, so to speak, and have your own firm, it really doesn't matter where you go or where you went. But if you want to go into corporate, where you're working 80 hours a week, then they do look at where you went to school because the alumni
Right.
factor. But I mean, for me, I knew I wanted to do my own thing from day one, so it really didn't matter where I went to. It was the fastest and cheapest way done.
Yeah, because if you have the network and know what you're doing, at that point you open up your own firm. People will come to you for the name recognition, the branding, and obviously the knowledge.
Mhm.
So I get what it's a double-edged sword kind of thing. If you're into the corporate world, hey, go to the UCs, the private schools, whatever they are, where it'll look nice on your resume because you'll be
Absolutely.
the good employee that you're supposed to be.
Mhm.
But if you're looking to open up your own firm, if you know what you're doing, don't even worry about the university that's backing your name, because your name is what's important.
Absolutely. It's who you are.
And I think in today's environment, probably law degree is probably the most versatile degree to have, where you can do so many different things with it. You don't have to practice law necessarily.
Absolutely. It changes the way you think. It takes the cobwebs out of your brain, so to speak.
Yeah.
Law school doesn't teach you law per se, it teaches you how to analyze. Law changes on a daily basis, where law school creates that analytical thinking where you look 5 steps, 10 steps down the line to analyze any given situation. That's what it does. I mean, we've had laws change midway through a quarter where we studied it one way and then we were tested on it a different way. Law changes. It's how you analyze it. That's what they teach you.
And how do they teach you that? What's their method of teaching that?
It's the
that's effective?
Socratic method. That's what law school does. They won't give you a straight answer. They'll just ask you a question. With your answer, you will answer your own question.
To make you think for yourself, right? Yeah.
Wait, I don't understand how that works. What do you mean? They'll ask you a question with
So
your
you ask me a question.
Okay.
And I'll ask you a different question, right?
Okay.
Which will in turn make you answer that question. That question will give the answer to your question.
Oh my God. All right. So it's
It's not a lecture.
Okay, bring
It's
up
not
an
a lecture.
example.
Well,
Let's
I mean,
say with
no-
cars.
I mean, I can't give you an example with cars. Nothing's coming in my mind.
Okay,
right now.
I'll ask you a question. What's your favorite car?
daily or just sorry, I'm very analytical when it comes to shit like this.
All right, maybe he's not the right candidate.
So I think
Okay, let's call it a Porsche.
This is the Socrates way.
Okay, all right, no, call it Porsche. You can say what, GT3, GT2, 911.
Do you like it for the speed or?
No, I like it because it's one of those cars where, in my opinion, I think it's a timeless vehicle. It's a vehicle that, besides a certain time period in the 90s where they put that stupid eyelid on the 911s, which I'm not a big fan of, it's a timeless car. Arman gave me a look though.
which eyelid?
Oh, the 911s. I forgot which body it was, where the 911s had that little eyelid that came in the front of the circle lights.
No, the 996.
996. That's hideous.
Yeah.
Hideous. It went
What
from
year?
911 to a Boxster.
What year was the 996?
99 through.
Was it
Was
the
it
up and
99?
down? Where
No.
it had like the what do you call it, the retractable?
No. The retractable lights were from the 80s. It was I think it was like probably late 90s to early 2000s.
2000.
Yeah, Levick will
6.
probably know if Levick's watching it, but it had that little
2006.
eyelid right in the front.
It's 98 through
99. 99 through 2000.
98 through 2006.
Yeah, and they had two years of it. They had two versions of it. They had version 1 and then they had version 2 of it. But that's what, you want to go back to your question now?
I'll finish this question. which Porsche do you want, and then following up, what are you going to do with it? So with that,
Oh, so that's where you're going with it.
are you tracking it? Are you driving it? And that's
I see. So that's basically what that's what they do.
Okay, here's a simpler example. ChatGPT says related to car. You're like, why is my car overheating? The Socratic version would be, what might be some reasons a car engine temperature would rise beyond normal while driving or idling? Could it be related to the cooling system, or might something else be preventing heat from dissipating properly? This approach encourages the other person to consider different systems and causes, fostering deeper understanding.
Whereas in the other sense,
The other sense is a yes or no answer, or
why is my car overheating?
and I give you the answer because you don't have coolant in the car, for example.
Oh, so you're basically analyzing what it may be. You're breaking down what it may be.
Yeah, like what are the possibilities? What could be causing it? And you're like, well, it could be the coolant, it could be this, that. I mean, I'm not a mechanic. I don't. What it could be these issues. Okay, and out of those three, what is the most like? Which one is has a higher probability?
Okay, I get it.
And then you start analyzing it, right?
break it down.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of like the Heinadort's method.
yeah, literally.
That's what they call it, Socrates.
Well, let me ask you: besides PI, do you practice anything else, or you just
No,
personal
strictly
injury?
PI.
Strictly that.
Strictly
And do you
PI.
do anything as far as like workplace PI, as far as slip and falls or anything like that? Or
Workplace is workers' comp, so that's a totally different
Oh, okay.
beast. But as far as trip and fall, slip and falls, yeah, that's part of the personal
PI.
injury, right?
okay.
Workman's comp is fascinating.
Very liberal.
But I have to say, I have to admit it, you're a good friend of the show. Known you for a long time. Not only friend of the show, friend. But man, I think attorneys are one of the reasons why things are so expensive.
Are they? Are we?
Of course, lawsuit against, let's say, whatever, Walmart,
Mhm.
Johnson and Johnson, Amazon. Next thing you know, lawsuit's paid out, and then you're paying, 80 cents more for a toothpaste or
Well,
$2
Why-
more for.
why was there a lawsuit? Let's start from there.
Why was there a lawsuit?
Someone screwed up. Someone got hurt.
Yeah, not
That's as
not
simple as
necessarily, not always.
Absolutely necessary.
Not always. You think it's? Yeah.
Someone screwed up. Someone got hurt. Pay up.
I don't know.
That's the simplest way you can put it.
Try to argue that. You can't.
No. I mean, if you ask me, I
Warning labels, caution
Like-
labels,
okay, like that McDonald's situation, right? Remember years ago,
the coffee.
the coffee.
Right.
She spills coffee
Which
on
set the
herself.
precedence for the Starbucks situation.
Yep.
Right.
Warning hot. Like, okay, you're buying hot coffee. Did you think it's going to be cool or iced or?
But
It was too hot.
that was like really dramatic of a difference. Like they downplayed that major.
Who did?
Like the media and whatnot. It was like extremely hot. Ask Arman. The case was definitely
Like it was that extreme where it was
Yes.
Like lava hot?
you should have
too hot.
seen the pictures of her legs and everything. It was like disgusting. It was really bad.
Granted, when this lawsuit occurred, I was in law school. Where was it? In the 90s? When was this?
Yeah, and then
Yeah, I
don't
know.
recall.
Early.
Yeah. So, but we know about it, and it was just too hot. That's it. It shouldn't be that hot.
Look, for example,
Someone screwed up. Someone got hurt.
for instance, like at a senior living facility, right? One of the first things when an inspector comes out, they check is the temperature of the water. Because they have a range. I forget what the range
Are you
was.
talking about like hot water showers and hands?
Showers and the sink, everything.
Right.
They'll put a temperature gauge, and it has to be within, don't quote me, I think it was between 102 and 107 or whatever that it was. But that's one of the first things they check, is because obviously they don't want you to burn any of the seniors, whether it's accidentally putting on the hottest,
Right.
water while they're showering or while they're washing their hands or face. But I guess to me, when you're ordering coffee, you expect it's going to be, regardless of how hot it is, whether it's 120 or 140, you're still going to burn yourself if it spills over you. But it costs for everybody else to have to put a warning label on it.
Someone screwed up.
Someone got
That's it. That's the theme.
So
of
simple.
tonight's-
Someone screwed up. Somebody got paid.
Yeah, we're gonna change the title from somebody screwed up, somebody's got to pay. But let me ask you this, and this is somewhat of a controversial question. Do you think that the rate of insurance going up is because of all the accidents that are taking place and all the lawsuits that are taking place and all the money these insurance companies are paying out? I mean, what do you think that's the leading cause of it?
The leading cause for the insurance companies to hike up their rates, especially now, ever since COVID, Department of Insurance blocked insurance companies from raising their rates. Insurance companies always raised their rates. We just didn't notice it because it was very incremental.
Yeah.
It was small. You go, okay, it's part of it, you know. But since they didn't do it for like 3-4 years, and then all of a sudden they didn't do it for 3-4 years, all of a sudden they had this huge spike, and it's noticeable. So that's why it went up now. But I mean, as far as the amount of claims goes, I mean, no. It's
And you have to keep in mind when insurance companies raise their rates, they can't just raise it at their own discretion.
they're heavily,
Didn't they do that last year with a lot of people?
No. You have to submit
heavily
it.
regulated with the Department of Insurance.
You have to submit it to the commission, the insurance commissioner. The Department of Insurance approves your increase, and then you could increase it. You
Okay.
can't just decide, okay, this year, we had a board meeting and we decided we're going to increase it by 18%. It has to be approved.
Okay, I'm curious. Anybody who's in the comments right now, whether you're watching on YouTube, whether you're watching on Twitter, to comment how much your insurance rates went up last year, because everybody's went up like crazy. Where people were scrambling left and right to figure out, shit, where can I get coverage? Whether it was for their auto, for their home, whether they were trying to bundle it up. I'm curious because, dude, mine went up from 2 drivers, 2 cars. We were paying like $4,000 a year. It shot up to like $8,000. That's double.
It also matters, I mean, what type of insurance you have and who your agent is. That plays a big role. So, I mean,
How does the agent play a role?
how they set everything up. So,
I think that used to matter.
It
I don't,
matters.
I don't
It
know
matters.
if it still matters.
it matters.
We got one from Levig. My
Homeowner's insurance went up from $1,000 to $1,300 in 1 year. And in Idaho, I asked why. They said, well, the fire in Cali and the floods in Florida is the cause. What? Aren't insurance companies based off of state regulations? That doesn't make sense.
Yet it's the
Well, there's a war in Ukraine going on, so we're gonna have to
the
hike up your
insurance
insurance.
board is per state. But if the company, let's say State Farm, has policies California, Idaho, Florida, if they're losing money in one area, they have to balance it out.
Makes sense. So if one person is losing here, everybody bites the bullet for it.
To maybe not to the same extent as maybe they increased it in Florida, but they still have to in order to again keep the shareholders
Yeah, but
happy.
Levix wasn't even a lot. It was from 1,000 to 1,300.
It's 30%. It doesn't seem a lot, but that's 30%. That's like yours going from 5,000 to 6,500. That's it's 30% is 30%. They never increase
Just
it.
like, just like everything increases, how can you expect them not to increase either?
Yeah, but the cost of living in Cali has become ridiculous, man. Everything is so expensive.
But it's not only the prices going up. What they're also doing is homeowners, even some auto insurance companies won't. You have to pay the first 6 months up front, and then the next 6 months. Well, this is for homeowners. Then for your second payment is due within 30 days. You can't even do like a 10-month payment plan with some of these carriers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know enough about the topic to make a comment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an insurance broker.
Plus, back in the day, because 20-some years ago, I used to be an insurance agent with AAA. So that's why I remember, like, for example, back then, I used to have clients who would come to me and they had, let's say, Mercedes and, Porsche, whatever they had. Like, whoa, this is expensive. I'm like, okay, yeah, it is. But go buy a $1,000 car.
Mhm.
Just get the liability. And that will reduce your annual premium tremendously because we can put that as your primary.
Well, see, that's where the agent matters.
That no longer works.
It works.
No, I'm telling you, I used to do that. Now when I call the insurance providers myself directly, I'm like, okay, I want to switch this to this. They're like, yeah, still $5,000. How about if we switch it like this? Yeah, it's still fine. Like nothing matters except the mileage. They're like, yeah, no.
And deductibles matter too.
Yeah,
Increase your deductible.
yeah.
Increase it.
Yeah, the deductibles matter. But back then you could add one cheap car, just get liability on it, and it would completely change your premium. But now they've figured out, okay, this is why you have this $1,000 car. We're going to charge you the same amount.
I'm curious why they're going through with a fine comb with insurances nowadays. Just curious why.
Well, look at the body shops. Look how
exactly.
Look how packed they are. Jeez.
Yeah.
Well, we off air we kind of talked about dash cams and how you recommend a lot of people to have dash cams.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Can you elaborate a little bit on that before we? By the way, if you guys are listening, you want to stay tuned for this because there's going to be a gift giveaway as well. So, can you elaborate a little bit on the dash cams?
I mean, it's there. There's no way around it. I mean, you have a dash cam. It tells the story of what actually happened. It's not a he said, she said. It's not what you recollect. No, it's there. We watch it and we see you had the green light. Someone else ran the red light. There's no he said, she said type of situation. We have it there. So
does it actually
crucial.
simplify like the case and the actual verdict you're going to get, or the negotiation with the?
No, it just says as far as liability goes, it just shows that who's liable for the accident, and it shows not only who's liable but the impact. We have videos where the person is like back and forth in the car, shaking or being tossed around like a crash test dummy, so that all plays a role, like the mechanism for injury.
So curious with this. Let's say, for example, somebody does have dash cam footage.
Mhm.
Accident takes place. The person who they were involved in the accident with says that they weren't at fault. It was the other person's fault, but clearly there's video evidence of it. How much does that shorten the time of the case when it's opened, or the claim that's open?
I'll take
Does it like cut it in half?
24 hours to accept liability. I've had cases where it was a green light dispute, and I held back on the dash cam. I just wanted to see how the other party reacted, how
Ooh.
truthful they were.
Ooh.
And they came back saying, oh, no, we had the green light, not your client. I said, okay, check your email. 20 minutes later, the adjuster came back and said, we're accepting full liability. So, and from that point on, the adjuster hated their own insured for wasting their time and lying to them. And
How satisfying was that
it
email
was
when you were
amazing.
sending it out?
So it helps. It helps. So it's a must.
I wonder if that's how these missile negotiations are. Hey, listen, we have the dash cam of the missile. Oh, you do, huh?
GoPro.
Email it to me, bastard.
Click that button. Do you want to talk about that giveaway now, or how do you want to do it, Arm?
I'll talk about it now. Actually, on the drive here, I was thinking how important dash cams are. I should say it is. So you all have my cell phone. So the first 10 people who text me dash cam and your name, obviously, will get a dash cam from my office. Just swing by.
And not friends and family, guys.
Yeah. So
Anybody that's not currently in his contact. So
yeah. So the first 10 people that text me their name and dash cam.
And what is that number, Arman?
It's 818-404-0333. And there I am.
There you are.
818-404-0333.
So all you have to do is text dash cam to that number and the first
and your name. So
and your name. You said 10 people. There's actually 9 because I've already texted you. So
Well,
I
Did you delete yourself from his contacts?
No, I didn't. But all right, fine. We'll do 10. We'll do 10.
This guy's like trying to take advantage of every giveaway, Can I get some of that too?
Oh, geez. I was gonna say my car has a built-in one, but I know I'm gonna get shit from you guys for it.
which car? Tesla?
My BMW.
He's 92
Oh,
Oldsmobile.
What do you mean?
Just have your own. Those things, sometimes they record, they don't.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
All right. I guess I'll text you.
Yeah, just have your own.
I'm going to put the number up again.
Yeah, guys, if the
Thanks.
first 10 people, 818-404-0333, that text Armand dash cam, get a free.
You got
text message. Get a free dash cam.
By the way, Arman, you look so much younger in person.
I do.
You've lost.
Yeah, I've
lost some weight,
working out, dieting for the past 2 months.
What are you doing? Exactly.
So I've never been to a gym in my life. I got a personal trainer and put me on a schedule where I have to be there. As long as it's on my calendar, I'm going to be there. So
just don't put it on your calendar.
Yeah, so it's on my calendar. I'm there, and I love it. And just dieting
Every day, or it's like a few times a week?
twice a week.
Twice a week.
And watching what I eat. So
How do you feel from what you were before to what you are today?
more energetic.
Energy more, huh?
Absolutely.
That's crazy, isn't it? Like a lot of people who don't work out, don't eat clean, they think the opposite. They think that, if I go to the gym, I'm going to be tired throughout the day or throughout the week. It's a complete opposite.
My gym schedule is like Tuesday, Thursday from 6 to 7. And it worked out well because my daughter goes to dance.
Or in the evening.
Yeah.
Oh, it's in the evening.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I have to be at the office anyway, so I can pick her up. So it worked out really well. So I go to the gym from 6 to 7, and then she gets out at 7:30. After that, I'm full of energy and
What did your diet consist of before? Just out of curious.
everything.
You
Everything. No, I ate like an asshole. So,
Is that a delicacy? An asshole?
no, this is like one.
That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say, I ate like an asshole.
No, like I would come home 1 a.m. Just open a bag of chips. With Martin.
You didn't eat with your asshole, did you? All right.
I think that's gonna go viral. I ate like an asshole. You're like, oh shit. Yeah. How do you do that?
Oh, you were into the chips and stuff. So you're more of like the salty, savory type.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's not just salty savory. It's like when you're done with the bag of chips, you're like, fuck, I need something sweet.
No, absolutely. Yes, that's what it is.
Then you have
It's a
something
slice of
sweet. You're
cake.
like, shit, now I need something spicy to get rid of this.
Next thing you know, you got steaks out.
You've had a bag of chips, a bucket of ice cream, Oreo cookies, and now you're eating torchi with slicer on a bit.
But the craziest part of that is the foods that are the most dangerous are the ones that, number one, you're addicted to, and number two is the one that you can eat so much of and you don't feel full.
You know what's my favorite meme? I just remembered. It's like sometimes it's a guy or a girl sitting. It's a picture of them sitting in bed with like a bucket of ice cream. Like, I had salad until 10 p.m. and then after 10 p.m. I had 4 dozen cookies and half a pint of ice cream
And a Diet Coke.
Yeah,
Because that Diet Coke's going to
That's what
cancel
it does.
everything out. That's the one.
Oh my god!
It's like they'll go to Chipotle or Burger King and McDonald's. They're ordered God knows what they're going to be putting in their stomach. But you know what? That Diet Coke, it cancels out the calories.
It does. It definitely does.
But it truly does. That's one thing that we've always talked about on the show is watching what you're eating.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been holding his brother accountable as well.
And
Arman's brother, because he was asking me, he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I told him, I'm like, for the past 3 years, this is what I'm eating. Here's a list of what you should eat, and here's a list of what you shouldn't eat.
and how much you should eat.
Oh, absolutely. And obviously time as well. And we're going to wait for that Glendale PD ambulance to drive by before we continue our conversation. There we go. The time as well. If you're going to sit there and you're going to eat there at a very late time and you're not the healthiest eater, those pounds are just going to keep stacking up.
I think the easiest way is probably to, because a lot of people have issue eliminating certain things. The easiest way probably to start is just to always walk away a little bit hungry. Don't eat until you're full.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you like to have pizza, I think, so have the pizza, but don't eat until you're full. Eat until you're like, okay, I'm not as hungry anymore, and just walk away.
I mean, it takes 20 minutes for your stomach to tell your brain you're full,
Yeah.
And during that 20 minutes, especially if you're a fast eater like I am, I mean, you can get a lot in that 20 minutes. You feel like
2 weeks worth
yeah,
in 20
yeah.
minutes. You're like,
So, I mean,
No wonder Joey Chestnut is always winning these hot dog eating competitions.
I think I'm good till 4th of July.
I mean, it's literally right around the corner, man. I don't know how those guys do it, bro. They scarf down like 72 hot dogs in like 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's just
Well,
wrong.
but that's a. I mean, I don't want to call it a sport, but it's a sport in essence. I mean, it's they extend their stomachs by drinking gallons of water a day, and
Is that what they do?
of course,
Oh wow.
that's how they expand their stomach
So what's
for the competition.
Oh, it's
What's
not
the
them not
record?
chewing the hot dog and dunking it in water, just
Yeah,
swallowing
but
it whole,
even
right?
but even then, your stomach, if it's this big, you can't fit 78 hot dogs.
I feel like
You have
they're
to.
fasting as well. No?
No.
No. The exercises they do is all based on expanding the stomach before
So
competition.
how would you exercise that? So
That's what I'm saying. Gallons and gallons of water to expand your stomach.
But I think it's the food here as well, man. I mean, you guys have traveled around the world, right? I mean,
Pasadena,
Joe, you,
I've
Arman.
been to
Glendale,
San Diego one time.
Mexico.
Of
Tomorrow we're going to Oxnard.
Let's go. Let's go.
I just got back from Mexico.
Yeah, but the food quality outside of the United States is so much different. Like, let me ask you a question: Have you been to Italy? Have you been to Italy?
As a kid, not as.
Wait, have you been to Greece? Oh, jeez, have you been? You've been to Greece?
I don't like going overseas.
Really?
Right.
So where have you flown to?
Just US.
You haven't left the country,
I have. I've gone to Mexico countless times.
but you haven't gone overseas.
No.
What was the last time you were in Armenia?
2006.
Wow,
I hate the long flights. So anything over 5 hours, I won't do it.
interesting.
Mhm.
So why don't you just fly to New York and then from New York you'll fly over to
I'll just
sea?
stay in New York.
Damn,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Because I was like, you know what? When you leave the country and you eat food outside of the United States, it's so different.
When I vacation, I'm not going to eat. I want to just relax on a beach and not walk around, go to museums and all that. No.
You're more of a unwind, phone off, beach.
Phone's always on. Phone is always on. Yeah. No, seriously, the phone's always
Just
on.
in case they got to text
Yeah,
you for a
wife will
dash
tell you-
cam, huh?
My wife will tell you the phone's always on. But no, I just want to mellow out for like a week or 10 days, whatever. Just chill. I don't want to walk. I don't want to take any tours. I don't want to be on someone else's schedule other than mine.
You're literally unwind mode
Mhm,
completely.
Absolutely.
So Europe, no plans.
No.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean,
Okay. All right.
But it's not just the quality of food; it's the amount of walking you do overseas. too.
yeah, I hate walking.
You walk, 8, 10, 12 miles a day
Not happening.
when you're in Europe.
If I can get one of those mobility scooters, maybe, just like roll around. But as far as walking, I don't know.
Because when we were in Malta, and Malta's known for, obviously they have the whole pastas and pizzas and all that. Dude, it was different than the food here. It was lighter.
I mean, it's just like restaurant food and home cooked food, So you know what you're cooking at home.
Yeah, I guess.
By the way, you could buy some of those Italian pastas at the Italian grocery stores here.
Mario's.
It's got like 3 ingredients in there. That's it.
Flour, egg, water.
You can make your own pasta. I mean,
Yeah.
from scratch.
Yeah. See, that's one thing a lot of people have difficulty doing is meal prepping.
Mhm.
Like I'm a big advocate of meal prepping.
Yeah, it's tough.
But yeah, you got to just commit to it. And I mean, don't do it for like a week or something. Do it for like 3-4 days. So you don't get tired of it. But meal prepping is very, very important.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Joe, can we jump on some ads and then we'll come back? We'll talk about some cars.
Absolutely.
El huevos.
Today's show is sponsored by the law offices of Arman Grigorian. If you're injured in a car accident and need proper guidance and representation, reach out to the law offices of Arman Grigorian, 1-818-404-0333. Are insurance companies giving you the runaround? Don't settle for less. Public Assist fights for you, not the insurance companies. To get the maximum payout on your claim, whether it's for fire, water, or property damage, call Public Assist today and tell them the Wisenuts sent you. Get what's rightfully yours. 818-242-0998. 818-242-0998 because you deserve every single dollar. Also, today's show is brought to you by the Glen Arden Club. If you're interested in networking, cigars, scotch, and a great environment, reach out to us. We'll connect you to the boys at the Glen Arden, and you'll become a member here. Smoke with the Wisenuts, smoke with a great network, and build your network. All right. Have you gotten 10 yet?
Yeah, we're more than 10.
Oh, shit.
I hope you got a bulk discount on that.
No bulk discount. Just
All right. Well,
Amazon. Quantity 10 order.
Man, life has become too simple as far as
It's convenient.
spending money.
It's convenient.
Yeah, it's too convenient to spend money. It's like, click, that's it.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
in your, and I still can't figure out how Amazon does it. You order something for $4 that's there in 2 hours. Like, what the hell? What did it cost you to deliver this thing in 2 hours?
bro, wait till they start delivering shit with drones.
Yeah,
Wait till that happens.
it's scary. It's not scary. I mean, it's going to be more convenient, faster, I guess.
The scary part of it is if you said your package is going to be delivered via a robotic drone 10 years ago, people would freak out.
Mm-hmm.
Now with AI and how everything is moving so quickly, it's normal.
Right.
It's like, oh, if a drone's going to deliver, oh yeah, I saw a drone the other day. Well, JJ was filming a wedding, and it was
Might as well just deliver something.
Yeah, might as well just drop it off as well. So it's normal. But guys, for those of you that did text Arman Dashcam, he'll be reaching out to you guys, and then he'll give you directions on how you can acquire and pick up your free dash cam. Mm-hmm. Thank you to Arman Grigorian for that. But you've got a very interesting taste and collection of cars. Can we talk a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. I love cars. It's my hobby. And I'm grateful that I'm able to, live it. So
what was the first what was one of the first dream cars you picked up?
Porsche 911. Dream car.
Which one? Which 9?
The first 911 I had was 2015 911 GTS, and it just started from there. And then you want the next one and the next one and the next one. So,
do you still have the GTS?
No. Well, I have a GTS, but not that one. Yeah.
So that was the one where you picked it up. You were just like,
yeah, it was more of like, oh yeah, I made it. Yeah,
what do you
poster?
What do you think of Porsche or most of these manufacturers no longer manufacturing a manual transmission?
They still manufacture manual transmissions.
I think the GT3 is coming.
Porsche has the manual transmission.
Which one?
They come on the GT3 Touring, not on the RSs.
Aren't they also getting rid of those too?
No.
The manual?
No, I think the
Ferrari got rid of it.
What's that Porsche that just came out where it's a
ST?
Yes, that's in the manual as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Porsche ST?
Yes.
It's a 911 ST is the 60-year anniversary.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
And it comes in specific colors as well.
Yeah, it comes in any color. And a friend of mine actually has one that was red.
I think doesn't it come in I think it was 4 or 5 shades.
No,
though.
you can have it whatever.
Really? Okay, because I know they were going.
The standard ones are 4 or 5 shades, like in the blues, the pastel colors.
Yeah. They went with those vintage kind of.
Right, but you
color.
can have it any color you want.
Nice. So the collection of cars, Porsche, and then what was it? You just kind of like, you know what? I want this one. I want that one. Was it like this? What was it that was driving you to kind of begin to collect cars? Was it just you being a car enthusiast, or
being a car enthusiast? 1, 2, actually using the car what it's intended for. I go to the track. I race on the track. Well, not race, but drive on the track. And I don't just park it there and look at it. I put a lot of miles on my cars, and I use it what they're intended for. We have a group of friends that we go driving with, like canyon drivings. So, yeah.
Which is, I think it's probably, if anybody is able to join that type of network, I think it's a phenomenal way of networking with each other. Because I know there's chiropractors there, there's attorneys there, there's different types of people that are.
It's called the Canyon Carvers. So shout out. And it's a group of gentlemen, I would say. And we're a good group of brotherhood where it's the love of cars that brought us together, and we have fun.
Yeah. And again, as I mentioned, I think it's a phenomenal way to network, to meet new people, and you guys get invited to different car shows as well. In fact, you were invited to the car show that we hosted here at the Glen Arden as well, where you showed up with a bunch of other car enthusiasts, and you guys practically all knew each other.
Oh yeah, you meet the nicest people. Well, mostly the nicest people. And
well, sports cars are very similar to like owning a Harley Davidson.
Right.
You can't. There's only so much you can just get in your car, drive to the office, or go out to dinner with your wife or girlfriend. You have to be in some type of a cars and coffee group, or like you said, what was the group
Yes,
called?
actually-
Carvers or
Canyon Carvers.
Canyon
Yeah,
Carvers.
yeah.
You have to do that.
Mhm.
We used to do that back in the, what was it, almost 20 years ago. Wow, 2005. Yeah, 20 years
I mean,
ago.
it's much more fun when you have a whole bunch of guys going.
Yeah, we every Saturday we would meet up here. Remember, there was a coffee shop on Brand, Le Petit. It's now North Brand, between Glen Oaks and Dryden.
Okay.
We used to meet up there Saturdays, about 10, 15, 20 of us, drive to Malibu, Cannon Road, and all that.
Mhm.
That if you don't do that, it's pointless to have the
Right,
car.
right. And you track your cars to go to the track. So I get my kids involved. I mean, we all get our kids involved with it when it comes to cars.
They allow the kids at the track.
Well, we rent out the track and we have our own events.
Mhm.
So yeah, I had my daughter first time driving the car. She was 11. She drove my GT3 on the track.
She drove it.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Closed down the track. Told them don't let anyone on.
12 years old.
Yeah, 11. And yeah, so she drove. I mean, these kids play, Gran Turismo with the Sims and all that, so they know it better than we do. And they don't have that fear aspect of it. So they do a better
Jesus
job,
Christ,
right?
bro.
Yeah.
Because anybody who's driven on track, especially with a hypercar, supercar, because a GT3 RS is made for a track,
Mhm.
and you don't realize what that car is capable of doing on the track until you sit in it
Mhm.
and you put your foot on that throttle and you start taking certain turns.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
you experienced it as well firsthand as well, right?
Well, my brother Arson drove the GT3 RS. I drove the GT2 RS, and on the track it was because it's not necessarily the fastest car, but on the track taking the turns, it is the fastest.
It's like you have the hand of God pushing down on the car.
Yeah.
Take any turn you want.
Because there's Ferraris or Corvette that are faster than the Porsche on the straightaway,
Mhm.
but once you take a turn, nobody can touch the Porsche.
Yeah, it's that downforce.
Absolutely.
It's
I think
the
about
most
2,000 pounds of downforce on the GT3.
How many pounds?
About 2,000 pounds of downforce.
And this is all on that wing and all these.
In the back, in the front, it's designed to just stick the car.
It's the most well balanced car ever made. Porsche. That's what Porsche was always known for. It's how well it's balanced. The ratio that the length versus the height versus the width versus everything is just super calculated.
Besides the GT3 RS, have you owned the GT3?
Yes.
Okay, so is there a big difference between the RS and the 3?
It's a different car.
Completely different car.
It's a different car.
In what sense?
The GT3 is the stepping point for the GT3 RS. So, it's a lot narrower. GT3 is based on a 911 Carrera. The GT3 RS is based on a turbo, which is a wider base. So, GT3 is not as light. The GT3 RS is lighter, has the more aero. So, with the RSs, they just make everything lighter.
Yeah, it's the race spec. The RS means race spec, but they're both natural.
Yeah, they're both naturally aspirated 4.0 engines. One's 502 horsepower, one's 5.
But the GT3 RS is based off of the turbo's body.
Right.
And that's
wider.
Interesting. I didn't know that. I thought it was just basically a body kit on the GT3.
No, the wheels are a lot wider too. Actually, the wheels 335s in the back. That's huge.
So, what's your favorite car that you own right now?
The GT3 RS.
Really?
You can thrash it. It asks.
Can you tell us what you own? Are you okay with telling us?
Yeah, I have the GT3 RS. I have a Ferrari 296 GTS and Lamborghini Aventador and 911 GTS. That's the older one. It's stick. Then I have the Porsche 928, which is from the Scarface movie. Remember?
Oh, the old school one. Yeah. That's the one you were talking about.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
No classic cars though.
No, I hate classic cars.
But that's fascinating. See, a lot of kids.
Levick, doesn't like classic cars. Sorry, buddy. Levick owns a 65 or 66.
I think he owns a Mustang, right?
65.6. I forget what year it is.
Yeah.
It's beautiful silver.
But see, it's fascinating. Growing up as a kid, a lot of people we did either the Murcielago or the Countach or the F40, F50 posters on the wall,
Oh, yeah.
where you were just like, one day I want a Countach or a Murcielago or those F40s, and now you're able to become a successful attorney, make good money, and are able to reap the benefits of your hard work.
Mhm.
Your favorite car is the 911.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when you say and GT3 RS price point is like a Ferrari.
No, I know, but
Lamborghini.
see,
It's
that's why I was saying, like, see, when you look at Porsche, and when I mentioned in the beginning of the show, I was saying it's a timeless car. It's a very simple car.
It's the same design for the past, like, what, 70, 80
Yeah,
years.
nothing's really changed. Whereas when you look at a Lamborghini or you look at a Ferrari, you're just like, oh, Lamborghini, Ferrari. I'll tell you this much, man. A lot of people who aren't Porsche enthusiasts won't be able to tell the difference between a 991 and a 992.
Right.
They'll be like, it's a Porsche, but it's there's something about that car that's just different.
And the difference between the 991 and the 992, it's noticeable. It's not just the restyling. Porsche actually puts effort into it. It makes it into a totally different car.
Mhm.
So you can have a 991 and a 992. It's two different cars.
Yeah.
So they always have the advancements.
Yeah, and it's not only like the head, like me, for example, personally, looking at a 991, 992, even the tilt of the headlights, you can tell the difference.
Mhm.
The body shape, the back of the body, how the scoops are for the turbos, everything. You could tell the difference. But there's people that, they'll look at it, they'll be like, it's just another.
It's either you like it or you don't. So,
Yeah, it's another Porsche.
I mean, when I first got my GT3 RS, it was actually my dad's birthday, and he was at my house. They had the car delivered.
Did you think it was for him?
No, he came out. He's like, I like the car, but the huge wing on the take that out. I'm like, dude, the whole point is the wing on the back. So yeah. So I mean, it's either you like it or you don't.
Has he driven it?
No, I don't think he can come in and come out.
I'd love to see your dad drive that car. but it's for Porsche owners, because early 2001, when I used to work in for a car dealership in Beverly Hills, we had exotic cars, but Porsche was the one car I sold more than anything else. Because obviously you don't sell a Lamborghini every month or Ferrari, but Porsche, we would sell multiple.
And I think it's the reliability aspect of the Porsches too, where they're really
It is. It's much more reliable than the Italian cars, but Porsche owners, I think they're the most
loyal,
obsessed, loyal, like car fanatics compared to any other brand. Like it's, and you guys, I mean, you're like, I don't know if it's an obsession, it's just madly in love. All Porsche owners seem to be that way.
I mean, you just fall in love with the car, and with the car comes the brand and the people.
Do you have a Porsche tattoo or?
Oh no.
That
I don't have any tattoos, so
you haven't gone that far.
Well, answer this question for me, because I've heard this analogy, and I don't know if it's true or not. They say that Porsche drivers were BMW drivers who could now afford a better type of German car.
Yeah, but I've heard that too. I mean, yeah, growing up, I've had a couple of BMWs. Yeah.
That's what I've heard. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people have said, people who drive BMWs end up transitioning to Porsche once they are able to, be able to afford a Porsche.
Right.
I think that was true, but not anymore, because now the Porsche price point has gone. I mean, the GT3 RS.
But that's a different animal.
Or even, I mean, what's a GT3 now? Like 250, 270?
Yeah, but those are GTs though, man. I mean, I think you can get into a really nice 911 for under 100,000.
No.
Yeah.
New?
Yeah.
No, you can't.
A base model 911, you can't get into it for
under like 150 or
no, man. Really?
Price points have gone
like
up.
Basic.
You have to look at it this way. You can get the best BMW M4 competition. You don't
think you can get into a 2024, 2023?
No.
For under 100?
No,
you can't. Albert, Porsche retains its value like crazy. That's what I'm saying. A brand new 2025 M4, you can get it for 130, 140. All the bells and whistles.
I got to research.
Porsche, you can't even start at 130 unless you're getting
the 911 is the
Cayman.
Retains its value. I mean,
today
9% within 9% drop. I think I read something 9% drop in 5 years, where the average car is like 30%.
Yeah. I mean, you could buy one for 150 today,
Mhm.
drive it for 10 years, and you'll still sell it for 90 grand.
Mhm.
If you calculate 60,000 in 10 years, it costs you $6 grand a year, which is $500 a
And
month.
it's the smiles per miles.
Yes.
God damn,
Smiles,
man.
bro.
All this one has is GTs right now. I'm trying to see if I can find like a 2024, I don't know, like a base model Carrera.
No.
Like you can get a rusted one. I mean, just a rusted one.
Yeah, with 50,000 miles on it. What was it used for? It's Uber. Oh.
Toro. It was Toro.
It's Toro. Toro's got it for you.
Oh, jeez. But I mean, I don't know. I was looking at it like I can't believe that it holds its value that high.
Yeah.
So 2023, 2024, you can't get it under 100,000 miles.
No, absolutely.
$100,000.
No.
I'm talking. I'm not talking about.
Base. No.
Wow.
I mean,
man.
what? Okay. For instance, go get a 2017, 18, 911, like a 4S. Still a beautiful car.
Yeah, timeless.
That you can buy for 80, 90 grand maybe.
I have a 2011 911 GTS, and that one's manual, apparently
Yeah.
limited. I paid more for it now than it cost when it was brand new.
Hmm?
That's probably unique. That's why. But today, like a 10-year-old 4S, you can get it for a decent price. Decent price, but if you look at the amount it's depreciated in 10 years, it's still minimal.
Right.
But it's decent price because at the time the MSRP was maybe 110. So now you can buy it for like 75, 80.
I don't know, man. It's crazy what car prices have become at this point. Then what is Levick saying?
I'm saying MSRP on 911 Carrera is 121K.
Base.
Jeez.
Yeah, and then
But that's a new one.
add seat belts and
That's almost like with the
That's-
roll up
That is
windows.
seatbelt.
you want cassette player or radio, jam, or you want
backup camera? No backup camera.
it's everything's become.
Yeah, jeez. Let me ask you a question. Are you okay with us diving into a little bit of current events before?
absolutely.
Joe, can we play our second round of ads before we jump into current events? Are you okay with that?
Of course.
All right. Are you leaving LA for Texas? Don't make the mistake of getting underinsured just to save a few bucks. Call Martin Melkonian with State Farm Insurance. He'll make sure your home, auto, and your business is fully protected. No gaps, no surprises. Martin takes his time to understand your needs to build the right policy for you. No shortcuts, just honest advice and real protection. Call him today, 281-712-2788, 281-712-2788. Martin Melkonian, State Farm Insurance. All right, so we're going to dive into a little bit of current events. I don't know how much you know about what's been going on recently with Iran.
I have no
and
idea.
don't blame you. I don't blame you. But recently, obviously, there was attacks from Israel on Iran, and then Iran on Israel, and there was a lot of back and forth that went on. But as of roughly around 6 hours ago, what time is it right now? It's 8:55. Roughly around 6 to 7 hours ago, President Trump, tweeted out that there has been an agreement to have a ceasefire between Israel and Iran, and no bombs are being dropped anywhere near either civilian territories or nuclear areas.
Well, that's no longer true though.
Oh God, are you serious?
Iran did send a couple of missiles.
When?
Hours.
Are you serious, bro? Literally while we were sitting down.
Well, I think it was they were supposed to do their last
Their last round?
Yeah, the last rounds on
Like
each.
I have till 9:30.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever's loaded, let's send them.
Mohammed,
Reload.
send the ones that are loaded.
I'm being serious. I'm being very serious.
Really?
I think that's what was listed. That the last things are supposed to go, and then after that, there shouldn't be any retaliation.
I don't see anything on that though, bro. Are you serious?
Whatever's loaded.
Khomeini called him Cameron John. فقط برمی‌کنی بزرگم last one launch it.
Don't miss that one. But anyway, all right, you know what? All right, so let's call it last two. They're out. All right. I mean, is there a ceasefire at this point? Can we confirm?
I'll look it up.
Because I just literally just pulled it up right now. I see nothing as far as like breaking news or like yada 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 Iran. But anyways, whatever.
Yada.
Look, we've had a lot of mixed emotions. A lot of people have been messaging us on Instagram, on Twitter, and on surprisingly on YouTube. I'm sorry, YouTube, on TikTok, calling us all. Whose side are you guys picking? What's going on with you guys? Are you guys pro-Israel? Are you guys pro-Iran? It's like, dude, at the end of the day, you have to understand one thing. You have to let all this play out a certain way. But what we are pro is we're pro no war. That's what we are. We don't want any type of war. When we put out images and messages on Instagram saying that this is not what we voted for, meaning we don't want war, it was based off of his 2026 campaign, where literally from 2026 to 2020 when he was president.
2016.
I'm sorry. From 2016, his 2016 campaign to his 2020 reign, there were no wars. And we were advocates for that. We're like, look, all these presidents that were there, from Bush to Obama to Bush Senior, Clinton, Reagan, there were all these wars that were going on. But during the 4 years he was there, he stopped everything. Palestine and Israel sat down. They signed a treaty together. It was a very peaceful time. So that's what we were saying. We were pro no war, not having anything go on, because we saw what was happening in Gaza with all the families that were being displaced, the bombs that were being dropped, and people were talking about, well, Israel's defending themselves. Look, there's a difference between defending yourselves and completely wiping out a freaking entire city. So
committing a genocide.
Yeah. So it's kind of like, dude, we don't want the same thing to happen now in Iran, because Iran is not, as you mentioned, Iraq.
No.
We have so many people from Iran in the United States who are engineers, architects, scientists, lawyers, doctors. A lot of, not to say that Iraqi people are morons or anything. Don't get us wrong there, but a lot of brilliant minds come out of there. And to potentially go into a World War III, as a lot of you have been saying, which blew our mind as well there, that's completely wrong. But going into any sort of combat with Iran, I think it would be a horrible mistake on behalf of the United States and Israel.
Well, Iran is not Palestine. It's not Gaza. It's not Hamas. Iran, if it was just solely between Iran and Israel, I think Iran can topple Israel in less than 2 weeks.
I think less than that.
But obviously, U.S. and God knows whoever else could get involved at that point. So it's a moot point. But Iran is not Hamas. Hamas, these are, terrorists. Yeah, they may be funded by Iran or,
Hezbollah.
Well, they fund Hezbollah as well, yeah. Right. But it's still not a comparison. Iran has been around for 5,000-6,000 years. I mean, they were Dubai before Dubai was Dubai.
Oh yeah, it was the Paris of the Middle East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I remember stories my grandfather would tell me, even my parents, man, prior to the regime change, where Iran was the go-to place for everybody in the Middle East. People would go vacation there. My mom would tell me stories of them in the summertime when they would get together with cousins and sisters and family members and sleep on the rooftops, enjoying the skylight. And it was just a different time until the regime change. Now, the argument here with a lot of people that's been going on recently is, and this is coming from the people who lived in Iran, is we want the Khamenei out of power. We want freedom in Iran. And the best way to do it is to bomb the nuclear plants, and what the United States is doing is the right thing to do. I have mixed emotions about that. And again, you guys couldn't give your 2 cents about it, but we talk about flexing our arms and waving our flag and having the greatest Navy, Marines, Army, Navy SEALs. You're telling me we can't take one guy out or 4 or 5 guys who are running this regime out and replace it,
Replace with who?
that's the problem. That's the
You
problem.
see?
Another puppet.
Well, that's the problem. Who will be replacing the supreme leader?
Because the chaos that it can cause, just that turmoil within the first 12 months, 24 months, or however long it takes until they figure it out, that turmoil is going to be unmanageable. Who's going to manage that?
Yeah, this is
The chaos. I mean,
Iran is not like Iraq where they took them out, brought their own person in,
yeah,
managed it. So it's going to be,
that's going to be a big challenge.
and I think the U.S. was flexing just to show everyone else, like North Korea.
Ideally, I think
can do
that
this to you too. And I mean, their bombs. I mean, I don't think there was any casualties when they
No.
No. Zero casualties.
strategic bombing. Where I mean,
They were mentioning it was exits and entrances of the nuclear plant. So a lot of people were saying the nuclear plants were actually blown up. No, it was the entrances and exits where it was showing them, hey, listen, this is what we're capable of doing. And in fact, some of the missiles that were being launched were missiles that had like drills on them that dug deep into the trenches. And
well, because the nuclear plant is actually 200-300 feet below ground.
Underground, yeah.
It's not, it's not like you can't drive by and look at it like a McDonald's drive-through. It's you got to go 200-300 feet below.
Yeah, it's not like those breweries off of the 210.
They needed the bunker busters. They needed the bunker buster bombs.
Yeah,
and that was, I think, one of the reasons why they would hit one, and then that would go maybe 100 feet or so, and then another one to
Follow
go
up.
another, to follow up. But like you said, ideal situation, in my opinion, would be Trump used this as a strength to bring peace, which is, look, not trying to kill anybody, but here's what we're gonna do: we're gonna dismantle your nuclear plants, 3 of them, and Gaza, Israel, you guys need to sit your ass down too. We're gonna end that with this strategic bombing, and even possibly get Putin and Zelensky to stop their war. Because ultimately, it's like, imagine this way: you got different groups of kids in, say, high school, right?
Mhm.
They get into a scuffle, and then that one guy comes, he gets involved in this fight, beats the shit out of them, and then these other 2 groups are like, okay, eventually we got to fight this big thug, so let's just, all right, guys, we're good, we don't want to end up in this guy's hands, so let's just end the fight amongst ourselves before he gets involved. If he gets involved, we're getting an ass whooping.
Mhm.
I think that's, again, this could be me being overly optimistic, but I think that's the strategy he used. It's everybody shut the hell up. This is what we're doing. Let's call it quits. And
Didn't Iran come back and said, "Oh, we moved all our uranium out before you guys struck," or something like that?
well, they have to keep straight face, right? I mean, they're not going to be like, Mr. Donald Trump.
Oh, no.
I apologize.
Come over for some kubide.
They have to.
Well, recently, in the past 48 hours, 14 missiles were intercepted by the United States. Over 1,500 air raid sirens north of Iran have been activated, basically warning people. And then United States has moved additional naval assets east of the Mediterranean. So, I mean, the Navy's involved, the Air Force is involved. I mean, the only thing we don't have right now is ground troops, which again, I pray to God that none of our boys have to actually go out there and physically land in.
Well, they are out there.
No. I'm talking about what happened in Afghanistan and what happened in Iraq.
But we have like dozens of bases there right now. So it's not, you're not shipping anybody for this. There's already military bases there, active military personnel there. I mean, yeah, I agree with you, but there's no shipping anymore. That's why they said they attacked an American base in Qatar,
which was intercepted.
But they also gave a heads up warning. Iran literally
that they were attacking?
Yes.
Bro,
so they said, hey, listen, we're going to attack
make sure
the base?
No officials, it was literally planned. So they have to show a little bit of strength, right, on their end too,
What
that we
they're capable
responded,
of.
what they're capable of. And even Trump said he appreciated it, that they gave a heads up warning.
Well, I mean, we saw what they were capable of in Tel Aviv.
Yeah.
I mean, those ballistic missiles and those rockets that were coming in. I mean, it was insanity. Like you would see what there were, and again, I don't know how much of this is true or not, but a lot of people were saying there were dummy missiles that were sent out as well.
Oh, to trigger
Which the Iron Dome shot down, but they were literally dummy missiles. There was nothing in it.
Testing.
They were testing the waters to see, all right, what's really going on with this Iron Dome. But I mean, Tel Aviv was destroyed, and the airport in Tel Aviv was destroyed. And again, we're playing both sides here. There are still innocent people that were there. There was homes that were there. There was airport that was there. There were people from New York flying back home to Tel Aviv that had to turn back around halfway and go back to New York because there was no airport to land in.
Right.
So at the end of the day, we always look at it on both ends. We don't want innocent lives killed. If we can handle all of this diplomatically, it'll be phenomenal. And I know you were mentioning something about World War III. If it were to take place, it won't happen with airstrikes and bullets. It'll happen more on a cyber attack, right?
Yeah, I think World War III, if and when it happens, it's going to be like a banking system, cyber attack, bio war. It's not going to be war in the traditional sense of tanks and jets and missiles and
that term World War III is being thrown around as if it's nothing.
Exactly.
You can't just use the word loosely.
Yeah, but that's fear mongering, right? It's like World War III, but imagine this, like if you truly think about it, picture yourself in Trump's position today. Every decision that he makes with his cabinet could be the beginning or the end. It could resolve things or it could turn into complete chaos. So imagine the pressure of every single decision that you have to make. Plus, and he's the type that follows the media and sees what everybody's saying. And these guys, like, you've got the Candace Owens, the Tucker Carlsons, these guys have turned against him. And then now you got Mark Levin and all these, the more of the pro-Israel guys that are completely rooting for him.
Well, Piers Morgan recently flipped as well.
Yeah, like how seeing all this and millions of people tweeting and, commenting on Truth Social, and at the end of the day, you still got to go sit down in your what's the
Oval Office.
Not the Oval Office, the other Situation Room, is that what they call it? Where sit down, you make decisions. Okay, we're going to strike these 3 locations. Here's how we're going to do it. This is the time we're going to do it. And here's how I think people are going to respond to it.
Well, I'm sure it's well thought up and analyzed before anything's done.
Yeah. Because he's got a much smarter cabinet now than he had in 2016.
Mm-hmm.
But there was a quote by Albert Einstein, and I don't know if you guys have heard this quote or not, but it's very eerie and very scary what he says. And the quote he says is, "I know not what World War III will be fought with, but I know that World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones."
Mm. Yeah.
So as Arman was, you mentioned that, the word World War III is being tossed around very loosely. We haven't seen a major world war since World War II, from 39 to 48, where multiple countries were involved and millions of people were lost their lives and were killed.
Mm-hmm.
So that generation is at that point of no longer being on Earth to tell the stories. But when you go back in the history books and you read about what actually took place in World War II, I mean, trust me, we do not want to go through that again at all. Absolutely. I mean, practically Europe was in complete rebuild mode after 48. From Austria, Poland, Germany, Russia, France.
And the U.S. was flourishing after World War II.
Absolutely. Because we were building left and right. We were building the equipment that was being sent over to Europe to destroy.
Well, look at it this way.
Enemy.
I mean, most of our audience was probably not alive during World War II. But right now we've seen what happened in Ukraine or Gaza, How long do you think it's going to take for that city to rebuild and go back to its original state?
Well, I was telling somebody off, a week ago or so. I said that I really don't think we're going to see the rebuild of Gaza in our lifetime.
You don't
Why?
think so?
No, man.
Why not?
Have you seen what Gaza looks like?
Yeah.
It's gone.
Right.
You really think they'll rebuild it in the next, I don't know, God willing, I live for the next 40 years, but in the next 40, 50 years?
100%. If they wanted to, I mean,
I don't think so, man. It looks, again, this is a country that is completely wiped out, and we don't even know how much money they have saved up for the infrastructure to be rebuilt. If they will even rebuild
that's
it.
why you have the Vanguards and the BlackRocks of the world. They'll finance it. You think they're gonna have, they're gonna bring their piggy banks, break it? How much you have? 47, 290.
Come on.
We can build one balcony.
I don't know, man. I see the videos and the photos of what's there, and it looks like, well, it is a war zone. But it's like it's leveled, man. I mean, you don't think they're gonna go in there and just check? Again, you guys will laugh at this, but the soil to make sure it's not contaminated, if they're able to even build anything there again, and who's living where and what they're going to be rebuilding.
That's prime real estate. Of course they'll build there.
That's so sad, bro.
Of course they'll rebuild.
That's so sad.
They will, and it's not going to take 40 years. Absolutely not.
They can have it rebuilt in 10 years, less than 10 years.
With the technology we have today,
I mean, look at Dubai. Dubai will build an island and then a 400-story building in like over the weekend.
But they didn't want to do that to Afghanistan or Iraq, right? Baghdad was, again, another central hub of the Middle East where millions of people went and visited throughout all the years for tourist purposes. But you know what? Leave Baghdad alone. Let it rot in its sand.
I guess.
So what's the difference?
the location, maybe.
Just because it's on the beach?
Oceanfront property.
Absolutely.
Trump Gaza.
You could build a golf course there.
Oh man, that's see.
Absolutely.
So bad.
Again, this is venting 101.
It's the sad reality we live in. Obviously, we're not by any means laughing at any of the situation. It's a very, very sad situation because we as Armenians have faced genocide, and then we faced kind of a mini genocide, ethnic cleansing a couple of years ago by having 120,000 Armenians displaced from Artsakh. So we've lived it, and we're still living through it as native Armenians. But we laugh about it in the sense that it's just it's unfair how like those children will never get a chance because they happen to be born in a family or in a city in a building that was I guess sacrificed, destroyed. Yeah,
right. I mean,
those kids will never have an opportunity, a chance to become somebody, to be an adult. And it's not just one or two; it's tens of thousands of them.
absolutely.
And this is happening all over the world. It's just Gaza is sexy, so it's always on the news, but it's happening in Africa. There's genocides happening in Africa that nobody talks about because it's not sexy. Israel's not involved, especially, so it's not sexy. And Russia, the villain, quote unquote.
Wait, I thought Iran was the villain.
I mean, it's a tie. The top three would be, I guess, Russia, China, and Iran. But they forget actually who the top one is.
See, it's always fascinating to me why Israel and Russia never go at it with each other.
Who's the top villain? We can't criticize publicly.
Like I said, I'm always curious. I'm always curious why Israel and Russia never go at it with each other. Why? Why don't they ever go at it with each other?
Has Israel ever gone at it with a capable country that could defend itself? And Iran is the first one.
With the help of Big Brother.
They've never gone against a capable country.
Just women and children, pretty much.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, at this point, we're hoping that ceasefire is legit, and whatever you guys were talking about is
It's the last load.
Yeah, that last load. It's like when you go to the urinal and you just do that last shake.
Oh God.
That's basically what
But
it
it's
was.
never the last shake. 'Cause even when you pull it up, you're like, okay, you should do this.
why was I wearing light jeans today?
That's why I say pee sitting down. You guys don't listen.
It's good for the prostate. But I mean, obviously, if you guys aren't following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram because we're posting daily updates as far as what is going on in the Middle East, and then also on Twitter as well. If you guys aren't following us on Twitter, we've become much more active on Twitter now recently because we've been posting there more often. And then obviously, unfortunately, we're on TikTok as well. Not a big fan of that, but what it is, what it is. You got to go with the trends. Arman, is there anything that you want to kind of touch on before we call it a night?
No, not really.
Sure.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, we're good?
Josep, you're good?
We're good.
Yeah.
Guys, for those of you that did message or text message Arman for the dash cams, he'll be reaching out to you guys tomorrow. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine.
Not to be mistaken with webcam. That's different.
Yeah.
Dash cam.
So you know, ladies and gentlemen, the ones that need it for the OnlyFans, we're sorry. We don't condone that. But Arman will be reaching out to you guys. We want to thank him again for joining us. We want to thank him again for helping this.
Of course.
Helping this because, dude, you have helped our podcast grow tremendously, and we're greatly appreciate it, guys. Again, God forbid if you're ever involved in an accident and you are hurt, this is the guy to call. Arman Grigorian, 818-404-0333. That is his cell phone number.
We got to do a new photo shoot for you, by the way.
Yeah, we should.
You look at least 5-7 years.
You do look younger in
nice.
person.
You know how long it convinced me to get this guy to do a new photo shoot for
You know
us?
how long it took him to tell me to grow a beard?
I look
And
like
now my beard's all white.
Well, the beard looks nice, actually.
It does, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Pulling it up.
it's getting white. My daughter was telling me the other day, she goes, Papa, I don't want you to become a grandpa.
well, tell her I can't until you have kids. It's up to you. It's not up to me.
Yeah, I know.
I
but-
mean-
and then I got to tell her you got to get married at 40, and that's a different conversation in its own.
Let me just make a shout out to my kids, Ava, Maya, Michael. Hi. That's it.
Papa's here. He's safe.
Hi, kids.
He's safe with us. Don't worry.
Yes.
We're sending him home. Arman, thank you again for everything
for
that you've done for us, and thank you for everything that you do for the community as well.
Adios. Keep
You
it
are
up, man.
you are an amazing human being.
Thank you.
You make us proud.
Definitely. Guys, today's show will be up and running on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all major platforms mañana. Have a great week. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys all next week.